some earnings at the closing show.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one. Just notice this, and thank you in the chat for pointing this out. I did not see the move Lyft made today. We do have earnings for them after the bell. I don't know what time that's going to be. Obviously, You'll be able to cover it there, Sean. We're going to go to Brendan in a second. But, yeah, there's already, wow, that's a big move bottom to top here on Lyft. But let's go to Brendan and see how the market officially did and then transition on over to the close, after close.
Oh, my God.
Muted, not anymore. Number of things coming across right now. Akamai, one of those guys, already out. AKAM to the upside in a big way. Trying to go positive here. Anyways, also SDC, Smile Direct Club, is already out. Just hearing it in my ear here. This is a penny stock, but already reporting for Smile Direct Club. A ton of earnings to come across this afternoon. That is how, meanwhile, the S&P 500 wraps up as the day comes to a close here. A little bit of positivity at the end of the day, depending on where you look. Apple ends the day 0.6 to the upside. Google still negative. Microsoft still negative 1.3%. Meta 1.3% to the downside. Oracle 1% as well in negative territory. But it was all about tech in general all throughout the day here, dragging as far as the overall market is concerned. Amazon down 1.8% as well. Tesla, a bit of a drag when all was said and done. Yeah, monster day for Eli Lilly, 14.8% to the upside. Pretty impressive. All-time highs for Eli Lilly, coming off a better than expected report and forecast specifically was a monster for LLY. Rivian just coming across here as well. So Rivian earnings have come out. Let me flip over here quickly for that initial move. Anyways, looks like 1.2 billion, so a beat for RIVN as far as 1.2 billion revenue for Rivian, better than expected, almost 6% here. Nice move higher so far in the aftermarket. A couple other things quickly to wrap things up here. Oil with a nice move today, back to the upside on this note. U.S. EIA, U.S. saying crude production is expected to rise to 330,000 barrels per day to 13.09 billion barrels per day in 2024, so higher than expected there from the U.S. This was all about the banks today. Banks downside on this. Moody's downgrading a few of the mid-cap and smaller side when it comes to the banks. So we did get some weakness from the banking group throughout the session. Yeah, Barkin coming out early on this morning, talking about inflation will, quote unquote, glide down to 2%. Wonder if Frank Caberna will echo that sentiment on the glide down part from Barkin as well. GDP remaining solid, labor market remarkably resilient. Taking the other side of the coin here, saying that we may, in fact, still need more interest rate hikes to go. So it is a negative session for all three U.S. markets. A ton of earnings coming out. Yes, this chair beside me here, you can probably hear it in my microphone, is quite squeaky. 5% now, Mr. Katina, for Rivian here to the upside on a nice beat, it looks like, right across the board for Rivian.
Yeah, quite a nice move there for Rivian. We talked about that earlier today with Lucid and what that's wound up doing. I can take this out of my ear because I'm right beside you. And now you're seeing some very similar move there for Rivian. Thank you again, guys, for coming here on the closing show now. We'll have to wait to see, man. The numbers are coming out as we speak. We got Smile Direct Club coming through as well. Right now, let's go check out what they're doing. SDC here. Let's figure it out. 83 cents. Doesn't really get going too much. Come on, charts. Let's go. Let's update right now. Up to 85, 86 cents for Smile Direct. We're looking for that dollar break here on Smile Direct Club, so if that can come through, then we'll wait to see if that happens. I'm not going to be putting on any trades here into the close, but we will continue to watch out here to see what's happening with them. Very, very light movement right now on Smile Direct. Back to Rivian. I think this is one of the ones that everyone wants to see. So 255, trying to go back up. You do have a recent high here of 28 bucks. Doesn't look like it's going to have enough juice to get to that level, but here goes Rivian. Nice upside move. move. I have something to tell you guys. I'm pretty nervous about sitting here. This is a brand new show for us here, after market. We know that we have some big shoes to fill, and we're going to try to do our best for everybody right now, cover as many stocks as we can. And I have the chat up here. We're going to put some stuff into the chat, and we're going to figure out exactly what questions you want to have answered. I'm going to talk to Bears versus Bulls over the next couple of days. I want to do like a lightning round where you just throw some names at me and we can go over what I think of this stock, kind of copying somebody with that. I think that could be a lot of fun. Have a few more guests on the show and just bring the energy and bring the love that we have for Trader TV Live and bring it to everybody right now. I'm going to also be using this dashboard here from Benzinga. So as we see some names coming through here, we're going to be able to bring them up right now. Lyft also reporting. It's not really updating on here for me to see what Lyft is doing right now, but let's go over and have a quick look at some of these other names coming through here today. I really like Uber. I prefer Uber over Lyft. So okay, nice move to the upside right now. Let's just find out what Lyft's expected was. 15.99% at 405. The expected move here for Lyft, 16%. It's giving that move up to 19 now. Wow, and look at the daily chart here for Lyft. Now breaking higher. Hey guys, this might be the trade tomorrow. Lyft now moving around here in the aftermarket up to 13 bucks and trying to go. I like Uber. Is Uber moving on any sort of sentiment here with Lyft? 45 bucks. I was actually waiting to add to my Uber position and was very, very close to pulling the trigger here down at this 50 period. Didn't quite get there to 44 bucks, but here it is. Nice upside move for Uber, 1%, but it is Lyft lifting upside right now. Smile Direct's implied move is 22%, so that's one there. Just looking over some of the notes, because we did make some notes before. Rivian's implied move, 12.8%. Let's go check back on Rivian. I don't have the exact numbers there for Rivian. I'm just going to type it in here to see if I can find it. It's in the chat, okay. Let me just check it out right now for Rivian. Again, yeah, Q2 strategies. Okay, there it is, earnings previews there. We're going to check the chat for Rivian from Brenda right there. -1 versus 141. So they actually get -108 versus 141 expected for Rivian. Again, with higher revenues, 1.12 billion versus 979. So that's coming in a little bit better than expected there for Rivian. So that's something coming through. Lyft, 16 cents versus a lot plus 16 cents for Lyft against a -1 cent number there. So this is a big one now trying to move around. I think this is going to be the Johnny on the spot tomorrow. Already up 20%. I could see this going. Active users, active riders, I should say, up for Lyft as well. That's going to be a good number. It sees EBITDA now, 75 million versus 85 million. And guess what's out right now? It's the big guy. It's going to be Upstart right now coming through. Here we go. 6 cents versus a loss of 6.7. So there it goes to the downside. Let's find out what's going on right now. Revenues a little bit light, 135.8 versus 135.9. So that's coming into play as well here on Upstart with a nice move coming back in for those guys right at the 50 period. Could expect to see possibly a little bit of a bounce coming through here for Upstart. Let's wait. This is very busy for me, man. Normally I'm not sitting here going over all of these names, but this is what we're doing right now live for you. It's going to be a good one, man. We just talked about it. Let's call up right now quickly. This is what we're going to look at. What is still out to come? We have earnings whisperer right now, right? So Upstart right there. Twilio coming. We'll find out about what Twilio is doing. Are they out yet, Twilio? Right now it says 405 on here. Let's see if there's a movement happening on Twilio. Down 6%, possibly a miss there for them as well, down to 53, coming back up 57. So big move down, now back up. We're going to find out more about those numbers from Twilio, and there it is right there. Earnings reported 54 cents versus 30. So that's a nice surprise beat there for Twilio. Lyft, look at that number, man. Big surprise for them. From negative to positive. Hello, if I had my bang button here, I'd be hitting that right now. That's a big move. Coupang. I remember trading this one when they first IPO'd. That was a disaster. Now it's up again, 8 cents versus 5, so a nice little beat there. We'll keep on refreshing this in case something else files in. Neogenomics, I don't know much about that name, and that fell through as well coming upside. So we'll just keep on refreshing that and see if we get anything else coming through right now. Brendan's trying to drop me some numbers if he sees anything. So right now, Twilio, nice number, back up to 60 bucks, making it work. Wow. This is why I just feel like trading the close is so dangerous, especially if you're going to trade some earnings names, down there to $54 and then right back to 61. What is going on there for Twilio? Let me just see what this is again. Thank you to Trade Ideas. We are going to have Michael Noss coming on what day is tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, he's going to come on tomorrow, Wednesday. And we're going to have Daniel Shea on Thursday, and we're going to talk more about options and maybe, what these plays look like from a swing side of things and what we're talking about. I think the banks could actually flip over to a short. I want to talk to Michael Noss about that tomorrow. Right there, here we go. Short float on Twilio. Just 4.3%, so not a huge short float for them, but there it is, man. From negative to positive, nice upside move. Wow, Twilio really getting going now. We'll find out a little bit more about them as we go. Here we go, Rivian. All right, list production after quarterly beat on deliveries, that's good. 52,000 vehicles in the year, up from 50. So Rivian now, kind of similar to what we saw from Lyft or from Lucid, as Rivian now today sort of affirming and actually going higher, up to 52,000 rather than 50. But again, kind of a muted move here, only down now 0.1% on Rivian. Let's see if it can hold this key level right here of $23. I think it's probably worth picking up something here into the close. So, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's going to happen with that one. But today, thank you for joining again. The first time we're doing the after show with me, and I know that there's going to be a tough little bit of a transition here. We're going to try to make this all, a little bit like a podcast more, where we're going to have some guests on. I'm going to take a lot of questions from you, and I'm going to go over 5 or 6 names. So Bears versus Bulls, if you have anything, if there's a couple names that people are mentioning there in the chat, I want to talk about those. About 4:25, I'm going to do a lightning round. You're going to say DraftKings. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to go on a 30-second rant probably on each name, and we're going to see where we can go from there. That should be fun, I think, anyways, into the close. Oh, another thing I want to do. This is something that we don't do enough, right? And we've talked about this on the main show. Maybe I can zoom this in just a little bit more here for you. And we're with Day Trade the World. Day Trade the World is the largest prop trading firm in the world. We have over 400 offices. I think it's over 300. I'll get the exact number for you. And over 3,000 to 4,000 traders trading on the platform every single day. So let's do this. I'm going to add this to the show. We're going to go over yesterday's numbers. I don't have the numbers for today, but I have the numbers for yesterday. Let's see how traders here at Day Trade the World made out. So we're going to go here, compare your profits. I've never seen these yet. I'm going to do this live for you guys every single day on this closing show and try to talk a little bit about what these traders are making. Again, I don't have the symbols, but I do have the markets. So the top traders by market. Yesterday we had a trader, and again, they're not huge. We still do have some traders that are off, especially some of the ones that are in Europe and whatnot on the summertime. NASDAQ yesterday, 8,200 top. New York, 6,000. Now, these could all be the same traders. Wow, hello. Someone hitting the Turkish market yesterday for almost 5,000. Shout out to futures trader yesterday, over $5,000. We saw Arun on the midday. I have to hear that back. I was prepping. I don't know what Arun said. I know he's been on vacation. I do not believe he's trading yet. I think he's waiting for the fall to jump back in. And again, I'm going to bring Arun on the show. You know what? Let's do that. Hong Kong, Amsterdam. Let's just go over here. Top 10 traders. So there it is. This is what you really want to see. Forget about the market. Let's just go to the traders. Yesterday, we had someone here make 15,000, and then it sort of drips down from there. And then Thailand and Madrid, I don't know. At the end, I got to talk to the IT here because these are not in order. Because quite frankly, I know I slipped in here somewhere. So these are not the top traders. It just at the end, we give you some different flavor for some of the markets. So that is Compare Your Profits live here on the after show. And not a bad day yesterday, 14,000. So I don't know, I'd like to see that a little bit higher, obviously. And normally we will get a few higher numbers than that. But hey, let's just see it together. Upstart, okay, nice flush for them, man. We've seen Upstart absolutely go pretty hard here over the last little while. There is that short float on Upstart. Let me just double check it here with Trade Ideas, as again, Trade Ideas is a good affiliate here. The only people that we are affiliated with program is Trade Ideas. We vetted the software. We use it live here on the show, and we'll continue to do that as we go. Upsy, there's Upstart right now. Let's just check out what's going on with Upstart. So again, it's this number right here, the 37.4%. That's kind of what you're looking for Upstart. Let me see if I can find out exactly what these numbers are for Upstart. We did talk a little bit about that. Upstart Q2, 6 cents versus a loss per share of 6.7. So that's a little funny that they're down this much on that number. But then here's the problem. The guide right now, the Upstart Q2 revenue was a little bit lower. I actually don't have the guide yet for them. So I'm just going to go over here to Benzinga. Look at this. Now it's all coming through here for me. Rivian's all coming in right now on that. Let's get rid of Rivian and let's just check out UPST and talk about this a little bit. It must have been their forward look because I don't see a bad number there on the revenue side of things. So let's just search it. Thanks to Benzinga. This is their pro dashboard upside here. There it is. Beats. So 6 cents versus a loss of share per 7. We talked about that. And that's really all that we have right now. It doesn't look like we have anything else on this. So we'll take this out. Quarterly earnings of 6 cents per share beating the company reported sales. We already have that number. There's a 40.5% decrease over sales. So yeah, they don't like that number. Not a great sales number on that side. Akamai also, Brendan just brought me that number there coming through as well on that for the short. Matterport also reported. Oh my God, there's so much happening right now. Akamai, not bad. 149 versus 141. So we could check that out. But for right now, it's Upstart making that move back down to the downside. What's up, Fabian? He's out of here, I guess. See you, Fabian. AKAM right now. Thanks for everything today. Akamai. All right, let's see what this name is doing. Okay, nice move to the upside right here. 104. You know what I'm really interested in, guys? Let's just check out Apple into the close. That was a weird one for me. You could see a lot of fills here on Apple into the close. Oh, we got a bad wick, so it's going to make this look a little chaotic. Let me see if I can get rid of this live for you guys here on the show. We have a data editor here. If you're part of Day Trade the World, you can actually get rid of some of these bad prints. And unfortunately, guys, you know, we do track all of the prints here at Day Trade the World, and if there is a dark pool that goes out, we have to fill that up. But I don't know, that was a really weird trade here for me into the close. We did short 180 earlier, which is right here. That was a great one. We got some fills down here at 178. So, you know, the fact they were able to hit that once, twice, yeah, we did go back to the well. And I feel really strongly about saying stuff like that. If you're actually have good reads on stocks and feel that, you know, you do think that the market's going to go one way, sometimes you do get taken out of your positions, which we did. That was pretty violent. Like within a couple minutes, that's 179.80, then all the way back up there to 180. This is all before the imbalances came out. So you had up and down there of 40 or 50 cents. Then I just said, you know what, let's short that against that high wick. And we did that. Able to capture profit, so that was a good trade for us. But there's Upstart again, 37%, and a nice little move to that upside or downside now for Upstart. Looking like it wants to take out some more levels. So what could possibly be developing here for Upstart? I always like to look at the daily charts, but again, you're taking out that 50-period moving average. You could look at a name like a PaySafe or something like that, a fintech name that's also been hit. Upstart had that huge move to 73 and back down to their 42. Look, we can't preach risk management without talking about the risk of holding some of these names into earnings. You're going to get blown out, right? Like look at Carvana, and I'm not sure when they're reporting exactly, but Carvana making that move back down to the downside, again, off of a 57 high back into 42. You want to always look for like sort of last second movements there in trades. And I think 37 could be a holding spot there for Carvana. Another name that Neil talked about, Penn, also coming through right now as well. So, okay, Penn, let's see what this number is all about.
Up with ESPN.
Oh, they're getting the team up with ESPN. Isn't that hilarious? That I talked about that today on the show. If you remember, I talked about DraftKings, and I was like, you know what the next shoe is here? Is somebody team up, and I used the word Disney, and there it is. Who owns ESPN? It's Disney, and here we go. Nice move up there for Penn. So let's find out what their report looked like. Can we find it? Let's just refresh this on here. I don't know if I could sort. Can I sort this alphabetically? No, I cannot. So I'm gonna have to find Penn in here. PENN. Where are we? Because they did have a report. Come on, Earnings Whisperer. Where's Penn on here? You know what? Okay, in the chat. I'm gonna try to like act like I'm smart here. Put Control F. Pennant Group? Nah, so it's not on there. So Brendan gave that to me. The numbers for Penn, so get out of here, Earnings Whisperer. Let's go find out exactly what they're talking about right now. So Penn Entertainment agreed to grant ESPN $500 million of warrants, okay, to purchase about 31.8 million Penn common shares that will vest over the next 10 years. So, okay, so I guess maybe the numbers aren't out, but that's a nice deal there for Penn, straight to the upside. Whenever you're making deals like that, you sort of got to look under the hood. Is it going to be a good idea for Penn to get involved here or not? So far, the traders think that it is. Right back up to the 200 period moving average for this name, Penn. Let's see if DraftKings is maybe getting some movements to the downside there. Wondering if there was some news possibly about DKNG and Penn. Yeah, look at that. Guys, this is exactly why we love trading every single day. You come up with some of these theories and then all of a sudden it hits. I didn't know anything this was going to happen. We talked about why I thought this would be a benefit for DraftKings to do something like this. And there you go. Penn jumps the gun, gets involved with Disney. And now you see what's happening here for DKNG. I am not a buyer of any of these shares up here. Anything that looks like this, especially a name that, you know, they're just now starting to turn a profit is DraftKings. They reported last week when I wasn't here. Let me just go over to TI here, Trade Ideas, and find out exactly, there it is. Oops, that's what I was looking for. So it's underneath here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, where is that little thing there that I was looking for Trade Ideas? Just to find out what exactly is happening with, I think I've lost it now. Oh, God. That's never a good sign. Let me find it. There it is right now. All right, so DKNG coming through. Last year, yeah, so still no PE, so not able to turn a profit. I don't think in this market with raising rates, although the raising rates is hopefully stopped, not a huge idea to invest in companies that aren't making money, which is why I think a stock like Palantir that's now finally turning profit for 3 straight quarters is something to invest in. A name like DraftKings right now. Market cap of $15 billion seems a little bit overbought, but there it is. Their earnings report hits last week, August 3rd, coming through. Today, of course, August the 8th. Welcome to the after show. I'm Sean, and I think it's been going pretty good. We're going to work out some kinks here. Michael Noss sent me a few different things to look at for post-market. We're going to have him on tomorrow, talk about some swing trade ideas, and just thanks everybody, man, for all the support. As again, it's going to be big shoes to fill. We're going to do our best here to do that. DraftKings right now pulling back into $30. Thank you so much for all the talk. What's up to Jason? Disney going crazy. I told you we were trying to buy some Disney down there, and we've been buying Disney. I like some of these plays into the close for Disney. We talked about this level, and again, on the show, it's a little tired. Like we go 8:30, we go 8:30 to 11, then we go 2 to 4. Now we're going to go 4 to 4:30. I like Disney down there coming through. I think you take out 90, and then you start to go back up to the upside. Obviously, with some political headwinds coming through there. Then you got the actors and writers strike happening for Disney. Plus, streaming hasn't been going great even before all of this. Netflix eating a little bit of their lunch. But I still feel like there's Hulu they can pull. There's ABC they can pull. And, of course, we all know about ESPN. We've talked about that over and over again. And I think the theme parks are still pretty strong, man. So let's see if Disney can get a little bit of love from that. So let's go. Yeah, I'm not Prad, so if I look like Prad, I apologize to Prad for that. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Anyone knows when MMAT reports? No, I do not right now. I'm not going to trade anything into the close. Unfortunately, here at Day Trade the World, our servers do shut off at 4:15 for active trading, and that's because we trade prop money. I want to be here to tell you guys as much as I possibly can. My account is 7 figures for the prop side. So I can get in there and start to layer in and buy stock as much as I can in the open show. That's what I specialize in when the markets are open. I've not been able to really hit earnings plays because we do have to finish our trading at 4:15. So if a stock is delayed on earnings, or maybe the number comes out but you're waiting for the call, that can dramatically affect liquidity in a name. And honestly, if I can put as much capital into names that I can during open market and have the success rate that I've had, I had 12 and a half years of no negative months of trading. To me, that's something that'll put a feather in my cap, and I'm not going to change any kind of strategy. Again, today, another profitable day as we keep on moving here with our stock talk. And I got to find a name for this aftermarket show as well. That should be a lot of fun. DraftKings pulling back down to $30 here on that news. Let's just double check Penn one more time. Thanks, Bears versus Bulls. He's going to line up some names. And I got to come up with something creative too. I was thinking about someone else calls it the lightning round. I want to call it I don't know, stock bangers or stock blitz, something like that. I want to go over a couple names that we're going to talk about here heading in. And I do see that we'll figure out what's going to happen with that. So if there's any comments there, Bears versus Bulls, please find 5 or 6 stocks. And I want to shout out the names as well. So I want to be like, yo, it's Sam from Texas. You want to talk about Win? Let's go over to Win and talk about that. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to do right now. I want to give a big shout out to everybody. It's been a great opportunity to be able to host this, and this show means a lot to me. So I don't know if you can tell that I get pretty emotional on times, and I'm really happy to be doing this for everybody. I'm not getting emotional now. Someone just said my wife's in the chat. So I do want to thank her for that as well. Thank you, Euthanasia, for all that talk as well as we keep the show rolling, man. Again, thank you so much. 2,500 people watching, 361 likes. If you can hit the like and the subscribe, that's great. I haven't even advertised this show, so I'm really happy to have everybody coming through again today. I mean, here's the board here presented by Earnings Whisperer, so we can kind of go through this a little bit. Let's check out Rivian. I don't want me to sleep on some of those. Bears versus Bulls, if you can get some names, I want to talk about that really quickly. We are going to wrap up the show today at about 4:30. Knowing me, I'll probably extend it a little bit more because, you know, that's what I do right now. But here, let's just talk about this quickly. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so we can see some action here. So Rivian right now, pretty disappointing if you're an options shareholder because it's only moving 0.25 right now. You know what? We did some work, and I want to thank Brendan for some of this work as well, giving me some of the expected moves. Well, we had Rivian right now expected to move over 13, just under 13% today. So that has to be disappointing for shareholders of Rivian, and especially if you were in something that's options. If you wrote options, then you're laughing right now because you're collecting that premium. Hello, Twilio. So we did talk about that again today. Twilio's expected move here, 11.6%. So let's go TWLO right now. Let's see what's happening with that. Up to 62.63. So again, not much movement as expected today for some of these names. So let's wait to see what happens. I still do like Twilio. They're used in Uber. Again, data communication, big time movements there. Cloud name, Twilio. Nice report there. Beat up to 54 cents. So really surprised. We did get a downside push for Twilio down to 53 up to 63 and now lasting around in there. So not bad. Lyft was the big one. So let's go over the Lyft story one more time here before we go. Wow, it looks like Lyft actually got faded out a little bit. They're up to 13, back down now to 1180. Let's find out exactly the news here behind Lyft. So that's Earnings Whisperer. We'll put that back. I'm going to see if I can find it. I closed the Benzinga chat right there. Let's just go over. That's still Upstart numbers. Let's go see what LYFT is saying. I feel like this is going to be a name that we can trade tomorrow. I mean, Lyft has been a good name to trade. I really like trading Uber. I own Uber on my long-term account, and I bought Uber as before the last earnings report down to 30 bucks. Was not able to get it out at 50, so feeling a little bit ways about that. All right, 406. Let's just see this note here on Lyft. Again, quarterly earnings of 1.02 billion, consensus 305% increase over sales. So that's all that I have right now on here. Unusual option activity for Lyft today. So Benzinga just giving me this. If it does get going a little bit more, then we'll find it out. I'm actually not logged into my Twitter account right now over at this desk. So tomorrow we'll be searching Twitter. We'll find out some more people's and traders' opinions on some of these numbers. So, so far, we're going to find out what's going on right now on this. So here we go. AMC, let's just go over that again. AMC came out yesterday with their report, kind of surprising. A lot of traders thought that it was going to come out today, including as we did as well. Not much movement for AMC today at all. Again, so, you know, nice move early on them as they opened up. Then it just pretty much got faded all day. That kind of sucks for AMC shareholders. But again, down to 450, good little bottom take there. Feel like that's going to be a good buy. It's nice to see AMC turning stuff around. I don't know if there's too many big blockbusters left here in the summer as we wind it down. Nice to see Barbie holding tight. There, I had some analysts predict over $2 billion. That would be a nice number to get through. Oppenheimer, mixed reviews on Oppenheimer, but still doing about $700 million. So that's going to be a good one there with more to come for, they call it Barbenheimer. I don't know if that's any good or not. Okay, so let's go. We have a few things to do now. So it is now getting to be close here for our time when we're going to talk about some crazy stocks coming through. I did want to look at a few other names here. Meta, just for a trade alert. I've been looking at Meta for the last couple of days here since being back. I do think, oh, thank you so much, Chef Joe, for the super chat. I'll talk about that in just a second. But look at this Meta high, 325. I don't know if we get back there. Meta's had a great little production, great performance there for Meta, and we were trying to short it. It did pay off a little bit, still a green name for us on Meta. Little nervous about some of these highs and not being revisited. I'd like to see the next Fed talk is going to come in September. We had Frank Caberna live on the show. Go back to that today, 2:45. What a great guest that is. And I'd love to have Frank on the show as well, and we will line all that up. Thank you, Chef Joe. I mean, Chef Joe, we know you from the main show. Thank you so much. I know you love the passion. Reminds me of, hey, let's go, man. That's what it's all about. Maybe you're Italian there, Chef Joe. If you don't have passion, then you're not going to cook well. You don't have passion, you're not going to trade well. I'm not going to say that I'm the most passionate trader on the show. That would be up to everybody else. But I tend to think that sometimes it's good to leave your emotions at the door when you're trading. But for the purpose of the way that I trade, I like to sort of dig into trades, try to feel them out, and just stick with what I see and what I know, and I know that helps in the kitchen as well. So if you're not passionate about what you do, you're doing the wrong thing. I'm passionate about this. I just love what you do and why we keep coming back. You ready for your interview? Chef Joe, again, I got to get my thing over here. We'll get my stream deck over here and hit that. Chef Joe, you have just nailed it right on the head. I want to bring on live traders that have supported the show. I want to come on, have a guest trader, maybe of the week. I don't know if we could do it every single day unless we do extend this out. I need to go home. I was actually talking with Danielle Shea today and my wife. I said, look, I'm going to do the show. My kids are 8 and 11. Shout out to my kids today. Both one of them at hockey camp. As we have a tournament this weekend as well. Hashtag dad life for everybody that's out there. I got to go home today, and guess what? My grass, because I was in Rome last week with all this rain that's happened, I've got like feet of grass right now in my backyard. So I think I got to get out. It's a trimmer, but like the whippersnapper. I don't even think my lawnmower is going to make it through there. And I also can't believe that I've just talked now for basically 30 minutes straight here, which has been pretty fun as well. Yeah, big agenda I have today. Pulling weeds and cutting grass should be a lot of fun. I don't know why I'm on Meta here, as it's been Rivian that's moving around here. $24 coming back in for Rivian. I'm not a big supporter of really any of these EV names, especially for longer term investments. I would much rather be comfortable with a name like Tesla. I feel like companies that are actually making money in the EV space is where we want to sit. So let's wait to see. Believe Rivian. We'll talk about that. I think they're turning a profit now on their cars. I know Lucid's not, so we're going to find out there. Tesla really today not doing too much, but look where we're hovering around 250. So I think that's going to be a pretty good opportunity here right now for Tesla on a little bit of a dip buy. Thank you so much, Michael Lloyd and everybody. Over 500 likes already. It should be a good one. I'm going to be touching grass. I don't know what kind of grass you guys want to touch. I'm going to be doing work around the house. But the grass is up to you right now. Okay, it's 4:33. Now, I've never done this before, and I don't claim to be super smart like someone else on another station that does this, but we're going to hit some cool graphics. There's probably nothing ready now for us, but what we're going to do is something similar to a lightning round. So what's happened is Bears vs. Bulls has sent me a couple things. I have not looked at them yet. I'm going to try to read them out live here, and then what's going to happen eventually is we'll send them over to Ramin. She'll put them live on the show so you could see Brendan from Toronto or Ramin from Saudi Arabia has a question for us. And we're going to talk all about that coming up. But for right now, I'm just going to shoot the, you know what? I'll say we can shoot the shit here live on the show and try to do this right now. So I'm going to find you right now. Thank you. Bears vs. Bulls. Okay. The very first one to talk about right now from Nomo, he wants to talk about Coinbase. So let's do that real quickly. Well, you guys all know my opinion of Coinbase. I don't like it as a stock, but the good thing about Coinbase is it keeps on getting love. You know, you get BlackRock invested in Coinbase. You get some we talk about Aunt Kathy, always trying to look to invest in some of these exchanges. Let's look at the chart right now for Coinbase. A nice high there of 110, bouncing off the 50 period right now. As long as crypto and Bitcoin can hold around that 30,000, I think you have a good opportunity to dip by here near 80 bucks for Coinbase. I like the name. I like it here at 83, 84 bucks if you can pick something up on that wick bottom, but I am getting out of Coinbase if it does break below this $82 mark. I'd say watch out for it. I don't feel like there's a better name to be in if you want to be in an exchange. We've seen those, Silvergate, everything else go bye-bye. Let's wait to see more about regulation. But I think if you got to pay to play, and if you like Coinbase right here, hit it near that $81 mark. Thank you, Nomo, for that one. The next one coming through, what's up to Goodfellow? SMCI blew out earnings report. So again, going to be hard to talk about names that have just reported because I don't really have all the numbers in front of me. We can check it out. But there goes SMCI. Considering they reported and they beat, this is a nice little downside move there for SMCI. I'm going to cheat a little bit here just to see what their numbers were like. I'm nervous about all of this stuff because the semiconductors, this is super microcomputer, they've been super profitable for a very long time. That's how they get up to that $350 number. But right there, 351, beats versus 257, sales a little bit higher. It must be something on the guide here today. If I was going to be in anything in this space, and I know I say it over and over again, I still like the biggest and the baddest of them all. I still say you want to stay with NVIDIA. We had ARC come out today with some good reports talking about, and they also released a new chipset today. I think there could be some love here coming for NVIDIA. I stay clear of all of these names until you get that report. The SMH hit the recent highs the last time NVIDIA reported. Let's see if we can get another one here for NVIDIA coming through. I still like this name. Again, as long as we're above the 50-period moving average, I like them all. All right, let's go back over to Bears versus Bulls. What else we got out on here right now? Chef Joe, thank you so much for that. Again, MTG, is that going to be a name that you guys want to talk about? So let's go over to MTG real quickly here coming through. I don't know much about these kind of names, guys. If you're going to ask me something, it's going to have to be a little bit more about big cap names if I'm going to give an opinion. I don't really want to talk about names that potentially aren't profitable, but MTG right here, we could talk about that. Thank you again for the super chat coming through. Nice name there, down 0.17. Again, don't know much about it. If we're going to talk about a chart though, kind of barcode breaking through 17 up to 1850. Not bad there. We'll see. Don't know enough about this space. Someone else throw another name at me here in the chat and we'll talk about it. All right, let's talk about Lyft. The reason why I like Lyft here is because of the surprise, but look at the pullback coming right back in, almost giving everything back there for Lyft. I prefer Uber. Again, more rungs to pull, right? I think that you have Uber Freight coming through, the Uber Eats factor there, and then just more globalization for Uber. We are in Rome. You can open up the Uber app. I didn't have to do anything. Calling Ubers, boom, right there. The same functionality in Rome, in Europe, that we have here in North America. Lyft yet to have that exposure. So I would say if Uber does fall down anything, this is the name that I would prefer to have. And I'm actually getting ready to reload Uber. Quickly here, not reloaded, I'm still in it, but add some more shares to it. I took the risk rate here on Uber. This is what I like going into earnings, is when you get some barcode off a name that you like. Bouncing off the 200 period, I was able to get some Uber off this break right here. I believe I'm long 33.50, 34 maybe, down there on this break to the upside. We missed that 50 print, wish we should have got that, but now you're fading back in there for Uber. I kind of like that play as well. So, all right, man, that has been a good day. Thank you so much. We are going to get everything figured out here as this show goes on. I need a glass of water. That's the next thing I'm going to remember to bring out here. A little dehydrated with all this talk, but quickly one more look over here at the board. We'll refresh Earnings Whisperer right here to see if anything came in a little different than expected. ACCO, not really there coming through. Fleet, nah. Zip Recruiter could be a name. Let's just check out Zip quickly here to see if anything comes through on Zip. Going to be a down 7% move here on Zip Recruiter into the day there. So that's going to be a little bit of a miss there for Zip. But again, let's just switch it over and see what that looks like. Not a name that we trade too much. Only 615,000, but look at that, 17 down to 15. So that is going to be a miss. So Without any further ado, I want to thank everybody for joining. It is a work in progress. We're going to have a lot of fun on this show. It's going to be guests. We're going to be throwing it over to some guests. We're going to bring some traders from the floor back on every single day. It's been a good one. It's been a blast. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure that you join us back tomorrow at 8:30. This has been the Post-Market Show. We're going to get a cool name. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get some structure on this, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Some guests are already lined up. Brian Shannon from Anchored VWAP is going to be coming through. Michael Noss is going to be coming through. Daniel Shea is going to be coming through. And many, many more. Hopefully we'll be able to have, hey, I'll bring on KO. Let's bring on Kevin O'Leary on the show as well. Should be a lot of fun. I've got places to go, as do you. We're going to be reviewing some earnings. We've got a lot of fun stuff happening. But for everybody here at Day Trade the World, it's just me. Thank you so much for watching. It's Trader TV Live. This is the closing. So I'm going to say ciao to everybody out there. Catch you at 8:30.